In this video, I'm going to do a full review of the language learning app Memrise. Spoiler alert, some parts I love about it, some parts not as much, so you know if it's right for you. And make sure you stick around to the end. I can give you some tips on how to best use it so you know what to spend your time on. Hey, Coach Jen here, and my goal is to help you learn a language better and make it more fun. So let's get into it. So Memrise is one of the more popular language learning apps in the language learning space, and it's been around for a while, and off the bat, I appreciate the selection of languages that it offers. In addition to some of the more popular ones, Spanish, French, German, Japanese, etc., you can also find Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, and Yoruba. So let's jump right into it. Why is Memrise different than other apps? What makes it special? The first thing I really like about Memrise is that when you're learning a phrase, it has mini videos of native speakers saying the phrase.
Salut!
Real humans. Instead of just an audio that's from a computer that sounds like a robot, it's actually a real human that says the phrase. And these little mini videos, while they are short phrases, can really come in handy because then you can see facial expressions, body language as somebody delivers the phrase that are extra things that might help you when learning those phrases. By the way, do you use TikTok or Instagram Reels? Calling you out there? Hey, would you like to do it in a foreign language and not feel guilty? Because that would sound pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Oh wait, Memrise has a feature that's like that. So Memrise has this really cool feature called Immerse. And what it is are short little videos of things like expressions in that language.
En plus à gauche. Mais non, mais l'autre gauche.
Different ways to say something. And while I was going through the videos, I really felt like I was watching TikTok or Instagram Reel videos. They were actually pretty funny. And do you know how hard that is with language learning material to have something that's a little witty and makes you laugh? I thought it was amazing. By the way, if anybody works at Memrise, it'd be awesome to add a like button to these videos because I want to give these creators some love. They did a great job at creating short mini videos that are entertaining and also you can learn from at the same time. And just to note, this feature is available for some of the languages they offer, not all of them, but is definitely something I would love to see even more of in the future. So another really cool aspect of Memrise that I really like, if you head down to Explore, you all of a sudden have a magical camera that translates things on the spot. Check it out. So as you can see, you hold up your camera to an item and it translates it. You can take a picture. So when you capture a word,
El libro.
you can pronounce it. Sometimes it gets confused, but overall, it doesn't do a bad job. So hey, have fun with it. Take something around you, see how it does. There you go. So other than these cool features, what are the main aspects of Memrise like? So when you first sign on to Memrise, it's gonna ask you what language would you like to learn and what's your level. If you don't know your level, you can always change it later and you can switch back and forth among different languages. Now it's a little clunky getting around due to not being exactly sure where to start. However, one thing I did like is that the levels and the lessons are unlocked, so you can always change your level. You can also choose which lesson you want to do instead of having to complete one lesson to get to the next situation. So one thing Memrise is based on is spaced repetition. And spaced repetition is a memory concept that after you learn something, right when you're supposed to forget the thing, as we do, it prompts you with the question again, and it makes you way more likely to remember that concept, term, or phrase in the future. So in concept, spaced repetition is an effective memory technique to get something from your short-term memory into your long-term memory over time. However, if you feel like you're studying from flashcards and the videos aren't enough to keep you engaged and you're getting a little bored with the repetition, that is something to look out for. So what are the questions like? Now, there are a few writing questions, but the majority of the questions are multiple choice. And if the questions are multiple choice, has this ever happened to you? You're kind of going through, starts getting a little easy, you start zoning out, just answer the question before you fully read it. And I did. I caught myself a couple times flying through the questions, not fully reading them. And the problem with that, you're really hurting your progress towards learning a language, and you're not going to end up fluent. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in becoming fluent from an app, over the years, I've discovered all these tricks and hacks that 96% of people don't use, and it's really hurting your progress and making it way slower for you to actually reach your language goals. So if you want to actually remember, learn, and use way more of that language, I'm happy to break it down for you, share all my secrets, oh, for free, by the way, in a super special training coming up soon. Interested? Join us, check the description. But what about training other skills, like pronunciation, grammar? So if you click on this little phone pad looking icon here in the bottom right, if you've already done the first part where you learn some words, now some other activities are open, depending on if you're on the free or the pro. You come down here to pronunciation, it will prompt you with a word, you have to repeat it. And I did try to mess with it a little bit and not pronounce things exactly right. And it did a pretty good job of detecting if you're saying the word or not. So if you want to use it to work on your pronunciation, that could work. However, keep in mind, it is repeating the word and not authentic speaking. So there is some grammar in Memrise. However, it mostly gives you phrases already put together. So before we get into price and is Memrise worth it, let me show you one more aspect of Memrise that's a little bit different. In addition to the courses and languages that Memrise offers, it also offers the option to learn from other users that have created decks. Now they have languages, if you see here, quite many, but also other things, math, science, music, all sorts of things. However, I found it really hard to try to find something by browsing. If you are interested in going that direction, I would search directly, but also keep in mind there can vary in usefulness as they are created by other users and might not be what you personally are looking for. I personally wouldn't spend a lot of time here unless perhaps you want to create your own course to study like flashcards, or you're searching for a language that is less common and you ought to check out what the options are. So how is Memrise priced, and is the price worth it? As language learning apps go, Memrise is actually pretty reasonably priced, especially if you consider the discount that you get for getting the yearly plan, and sometimes they have promotions going on. And they also have a lifetime option plan that not many other apps offer. So what do you get for free, and what do you get if you upgrade? So I made sure to have an account that was free and one that was pro so I could compare the two. So in the free version, not all courses and activities and levels will be unlocked. So if you see here, the activities in gray are unlocked for the free version. The ones that are gold are only for the pro version. You do get a decent amount for free, but you'll be missing some of the situations. And by the way, the situations that have to do with food, I noticed were locked, which is tragic. You actually can get a decent amount of situations and lessons for free. You will have to put up with ads, which are annoying. However, that's pretty standard with most free apps. Especially given the price is decently reasonable, less than some other options, and with the pro version, you get access to the TikTok-like videos, and the instant translate camera can be fun to play with. I would say the pro upgrade is worth it. So should you personally use Memrise? And if you do, how should you use it? Now, how you use Memrise, my recommendation would differ depending on your level and what you're hoping to get out of it. So if you're more of a beginner and you want to build some vocabulary and phrases, focusing on the most common words and phrases in that language, you can use Memrise to do that. It can do the trick by concentrating on the native speaker mini videos where they teach you some of the most common phrases. But if you're more of an advanced beginner or an intermediate, I would jump to the Immerse section where you can enjoy the TikTok-like videos made from native speakers where you can learn some phrases or other things in that language in a lighthearted, kind of fun, kind of funny sort of way. And that's something that sets Memrise apart from other language learning apps, and I think is one of the ways that it really shines. So, is it possible to watch a little mini videos and not actually learn much from? Yes, of course, it is. However, not if you join us for the super special training where I break down how to become fluent from an app. Just saying, you're invited if you're interested. Check it out. But what about you? Have you used Memrise before? What are your thoughts on it? Leave your opinion in the comments below. So if you've enjoyed the content, at least somewhat, if you're still here, hey, how's it going? Smash that like button. Let me know so I can keep making videos like this, trying to help make language learning more fun, way easier, and how to get out in the world and use the language, because that's the point, right? So happy language learning and catch you soon. It's risque putting this right here. That's not gonna, no, that's not a good idea. Or there, that's, excuse me.